Okay, what are we doing? We are going to... what have we got? We've got the movement, we've got the sausage roll movements. Hey, now you can't tell what's connected to what. Oh, yes you can, because those are actually separate things. Okay, yes, those two are equivalent. Nice. Okie dokie. So, it's the extension physics we need to do. I think I've decided I'm not going to do the ghost trunk stuff. I'm going to try and see what I can do without that. Just keep it nice and in the realm of scientific fact with infinitely extensible elephant trunks. So we've got nostrils, we've got trunks, and we've got face. Where's face gone? Face is just fully yellow. Right, that's that piece. Okay. What I wanted to decide on was whether the nostrils should always be there or only there after I've extended the trunk. I haven't decided. Should it be? Like, should the nostrils just represent the end of the extended thing? Yeah, that probably makes sense. Rather than, yeah, sure, the face has nostrils, but I don't need to represent it at all times. Okay, so such a strange statement. Let's do, so back to the extension logic. I want to change it so that, so right now the player, when performing an action, puts a, okay, it should be possible though for the nostrils to stick directly to the wall. Directly in front of the elephant. That should definitely be possible. So I can't just put it in front. So then the face and the nostrils do have to occupy the same space at least some amount of time. Oh, maybe I should just put the nostrils on the same face. That might make it easier. I just have to keep it moving with the trunk at all times. No. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the nostrils on a different layer. Hello, people. Hello. Nostrils. On a different layer from the face. And then I'm going to place them on the face at this moment when the action happens. So it becomes layer, face, yes, and nostrils. Okay. So then what we're always doing is moving the nostrils forward and placing trunk behind it. That's a better way of doing it. Okay. So then if we have, what was I doing here? Stationary trunk all, trunk rotates up. No static, no dynamic. What I actually want is, guess, just, well, why stationary? Why did I say stationary? Oh, it was about I was using the actions to do something, wasn't I? Yeah, okay. That's not going to matter. It is going to matter. So, stationary, nostrils, whichever direction. Well, I guess it's going to be right. Oh, in fact, that's a good point. So that needs to be right. Up. That needs to be right. That needs to be down. That needs to be left. And then, oh, I should stop my timer again. Whoops. I've been thinking about it. 48 hours. with like actually taking proper breaks and like sleeping properly and stuff like that, it's actually quite difficult to squeeze into a week. Like, yeah, really difficult. And I have Mondays off, so got tomorrow and Monday to spend a lot of time, and then the rest of the week I've just got the evenings. See how that goes. Anyway, stationary nostrils, left and front. So then we want to leave behind. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. How do we want to do this? I want to leave it on the face. If I move forward, or do I want to leave it on the face? Maybe. Hey, Adam. Yeah, do have 3-day weekends. It's just very nice. I highly recommend it if you don't have that. It doesn't suddenly make it super easy to get loads of stuff done though. That's what I was hoping for. It does, it does free up some extra time. Are you not taking part in the game jam, Adam? Yeah, for me, I just asked for working part-time at the right time at my place. At a time when it was probably easier to do so as well, so. Okay. Nostrils, what do I want to do? Do I want to leave behind just the... So the base case, what's the base case? The base case is that player is here, base is here, which I'm going to just represent by that bit. And then the nostrils appear here. I guess they should be at the end of the thing. Yeah. And then when they move forwards, they leave behind that. That seems sensible. My finger's very dirty. Okay. They would leave behind like an outwards going from that cell. Outwards going from that cell, and then inwards from here, and then nostrils. Right. Yeah. Are you doing the collaborative games? Maybe have you taken part in those? Yeah, should definitely take part in something at some point if you can. But yeah, it sounds sensible. I mean, you can only do a game jam like this if you've got the spare time for it, and you've got like a week you can set aside. It's pretty difficult. I do think maybe it would be sensible to extend the overall time to like 2 weeks, maybe. Because 48 hours in a week is quite difficult. I haven't. Do they come on a schedule? No, not a schedule. Just when I kind of keep hoping that somebody will start another collaborative game while another one's already in progress, so that as soon as one is finished, we can get going. But usually, basically, after one's done, somebody ends up going, "Oh, let's do another collaborative game." This time it was me. But it'd be nice if there were like if we could keep it going, so there was pretty much always one happening. That'd be quite nice, especially because it takes a while for them to get done. Because usually like 40 to 50 people sign up, and it takes like it can be like 6 months. Really lengthy project. Just to check, are you at Adam on the Thinky Puzzle Discord? I.e., the person who did the C implementation of puzzle script. Yeah, 50 people is a lot. And we split it up into 2 groups in parallel, and it still takes 6 months to get finished. Okay, cool, nice. How's the C puzzle script thing? Have you done anything with it? Like everybody talks about making, a better version of puzzle script, or like not necessarily better, but like everybody has their own ideas of what they want to do with puzzle scripts. Yeah, it's hard to find the time, especially if you want to make games at the same time. There is definitely so much you could do to improve it. I was thinking about doing a Rust implementation at some point, partially as an excuse to use Rust for a bit. Yeah. Anyway, so what am I doing? So that's my plan. That's my plan now. So I'm going to change actually where I draw the nostrils. I hate the word nostrils. It's horrible. But I'm going to change this to be like this. That makes much more sense. Put that around here. I wish there was an easier way to like, I guess in like a proper text editor you can do like block selects, but like if I could just do a vertical selection of those lines and paste them over here, that'd be quite nice. Yeah, the puzzle script is just so good for like expressing grid-based ideas so quickly. It would be great to. Somebody was mentioning it before that who was it that was saying that in the GMTK jam, a lot of the best, mechanically best games were like puzzle script games, but they just like paled in comparison to how some of the Unity games looked. But there's really nothing stopping you from having puzzle script as the underlying engine and having a proper rendering engine on top of it with like animations and 3D graphics and stuff. It's totally possible. We can't see the bottom of chat. Oh, I actually don't need that plugged in. I might as well just remove that. Hopefully this doesn't ruin everything. That's fine. Okay. Never finished. I mean, I haven't really. Have I? There's some really old stuff I made. For me, I often like I'll start a puzzle script project and then I'll get too much into like this would be a better, bigger game. So why should I finish it in puzzle script? Although then I look at other people's like itch profiles and it's like, well, at least like you've built up a bit of a portfolio. So maybe I should try and finish more stuff. Hopefully I'll finish this 48 hours. Yeah, same. Looks like we're interested in similar stuff. Maybe we should collaborate on the puzzle script stuff. Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a simple way to do it, right? Just use the maps as a way of figuring it. But if you could just run the engine, why not? If you could just make it, just copy the rules, and then you've got the game already implemented. It would be actually beautiful. Not that obviously it wouldn't do everything. It wouldn't, you wouldn't get something as polished as a Monsters Expedition or because Snowman is hard to build. But you could probably get a lot of the way there, and then all of the work is just like making better animations and all that kind of stuff. And making the input feel good. But then if you like you could provide like nice input handling as just like the basic part of integrating the puzzle script rules engine with Unity or whatever. Anyway. So replacing nostrils. Then if we've got nostrils and we're going upwards and there's nothing blocking us, then we place a trunk up and a trunk down, and then we move that along and we put an action on the nostrils. Nostrils go there. Is that right? That just becomes a trunk up. Those go, those two move along, yes, and that goes there. That sounds good. Okay, let's just copy that. I wrote again twice, apparently. It's all right. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that dream puzzle engine. Right. Left. Right. Right. Left. Right. Down. Down. So I implemented what I was calling super puzzle script. I never really finished what I was doing, but like a templating engine for generating puzzle script files from a template. So you could write for direction in up, right, etc. And then like it just used a standard templating language. And then you could just inject it in. And what is cool, and it does make writing this kind of thing a lot easier, but the problem with the way I implemented it is the errors you get after you do that is they're not very useful. I'd looked into could I do source mapping? So I can map back the lines from the errors back to the source code, but it's kind of tricky. No, so basically, yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. Is I'm just not using it for this jam because it's sort of easier to just end up tinkering in here. And yeah, it's a bit of copy and pasting, but oh well. Down, trunk up, trunk down. That's good. Trunk. So this is left, trunk, left, right, left. Theory, that does the right thing. That looks good. Hey. Nice. Oh, I can shoot it multiple times. Yeah, I can disconnect from it at the moment. That's not intended, but whatever. It's just because it's still being implemented. It's kind of fun though. I can make lots of interesting patterns. Okay. So, well, the animation of it extending. Yeah, hopefully it'll be even sweeter than that, actually. The current collaborative game for the Thinky Puzzle Discord is looking really cool. I'm very excited for it. Although I have a lot of work to do at the end of it to put it all together. It's going to be like a open world single puzzle type situation. Feels like a mosquito deploying its trunk. That's pretty much what it is. It's just instead of a mosquito, it's a giant mosquito, i.e. an elephant. Yeah, I'm going for, the idea is it's an elephant that can extend its trunk to grab onto stuff. The original idea I had was for it to be like a hook shot, like in Zelda. But then the theme came out and it was like about an elephant. What channel is that going in? Oh, the collaborative game. The collaborative game, because it's like they're done like where one person makes the first level and then kind of secretly passes on to the next level, so you don't really hear about it until it's done. So you won't. There's not really any chat going on. But eventually, the last person will have added their level. It will come back to me, and I have to like tidy it up, stick it on itch or whatever, and then it'll get posted in Showcase or something. It'll probably get spotlit as well, I would guess. I think all the others did. Yeah, and yeah, you sort of just have to be around when it gets announced if you want to sign up for one. Which one's the last? Oh, the last one was a hoist cratey and the one I contributed to, Indiana Hats. Yeah, they were fun. They were cool games. It was funny seeing the similarities between the two. Okie dokie. So I'm extending the trunk. And what I want is that once it's extended, I'm then in extended mode. And if I like move, I want the movement to remain the same. So I'm still doing Steven Sausage Roll style rotations. This is like tank controls. But I'm like drawing a path for my trunk. Effectively. So I want the trunk to follow where I move my face. The yellow square. It'll draw a line. And so there'll be some interesting restrictions around what kind of possible lines you could draw. I've got to see how that will factor into the actual puzzles once I get to it. Yeah, there'll be some constraints because, like, if I did do a loop around like that, then I actually can't go anywhere after that because I can't step onto my own trunk. That'd be painful. Unwind, I think so. I want to allow unwinding as well. So if I walk into the path, it would just like scoop the trunk back up. Yeah. Okay. So that's the next thing. Make it draw while it's in this state. How do I know I'm in that state? That's the thing. Should I leave something on the player or maybe in the corner of the level? This is another reason why having the nostril on the face to begin with would be quite good, because if it's there, then I'm not extended. That's not necessarily true. Yeah, that's not true at all. Okay. That's another good way of doing it. Maybe I should just have... Yeah, I'll have something on the player that represents... Are we extended or not? I mean, I could just have two player objects. Maybe that's sensible. Yeah, why not? And then pressing X always toggles between the two. Sounds sensible. Yeah. Okay. What's my sensible idea? So two players. Let's just do that. I think it'll be simple. I'll make them similar colors. Target is dark blue. Look, that's not dark blue. It's practically black. What have I done there? Oops. So player. Let's start saying elephants. Elephants. retracted, elephant extended, elephant. No, not green. The ground is green currently. Let's just do red, I guess. Oh, I've been using red for debug stuff. Screw it, let's change this to like RGB. That's maybe too dark. And then do player. It needs to be elephant extended, elephant retracted. And do player equals elephant retracted or elephant extended, and then all the rules should still work, right? Legend. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. I actually didn't realize that was ordered. Okay, that's good. Then when I extend, swap the two. So action. I'm going to have to keep the action on. So action, elephant retracted makes action elephant extended. So now it'll only go one way, but did that change color? That was very subtle. Let's drop you down to C. It's definitely changing. Okay, next. So we know we're in an extended state. So that means we're going to draw. So in all of my rotation logic and all my movement logic, I need to factor in the fact that I need to draw or erase the line that I'm drawing. Okay. All of the puzzles I've been thinking about have just been about like grabbing onto things and then using the directions that the stroke is going to like pull the object in weird ways. Maybe I should have more puzzles that are based on like the shape that you're drawing somehow. Well, I can't think of a logical, like the elephant's trunk, why would the shape of it matter in some interesting way? But then I guess the shape can matter in the sense that the shape is going to affect where the block gets pulled. So yeah, hopefully it's fine. Okay, what's next? So let's make a draw. Let's make a draw. It's going to be quite complicated because the movement logic is like the most complicated bit of all of this. So, ooh, I also need to factor in whether I am able to move. So like in this situation, this is when I'm just moving forwards. So in this situation, and I move forwards, I want it to erase the two bits of trunk. But what if I'm like against a wall? If I'm against a wall, then there's not going to be any trunk there. It could be against a block. There's not going to be any block there. if I'm against a wall, then the trunk is going off in a different direction. Like I would have rotated like this and like facing a wall. Then going forward doesn't do anything. Still, if I'm here and I've extended, because that has extended now, there's like a little bit there. Move forward, well, there's nothing to erase. So can I just say erase? I just assume that if there is a, if the two parts of the trunk to erase are there, I can just erase them. Maybe. Sadly, I'm going to have to do a lot of like very specific like directional rules. So I want to do this before. Oh. So I could just use the direction that the face is moving. But only after working out is the face still moving. So maybe I should do this right at the end. I think I should do it right at the end. Drawing. Let's call it. So drawing. So if the face is moving in a certain direction, oh no, it's tricky. I can't just do it all at the end. Well, okay, so if we rotate, then the face isn't moving anymore. So if at this point the face is still moving, then we can assume that we're moving either forward or backwards. So, I know it's going to be complicated. What have I done? Fortunately, I'm less than 5 hours in. I've got loads of time. The trunk is going to follow exactly the path that the face block follows. It's not going to flex or anything. It's going to stay kind of rigid along that path. And when you pull blocks, it's also going to stay rigid along that path. It's going to be weird, but I guess you'll see once that bit's implemented. It's going to be an oddly strong trunk. We need to steal some rules from Cyber. I remember that game. What ended up thinking it? Yeah. Well, what happens in this if you like... If I do this... Oh, how does it work? Oh, it's that I can grab onto. I guess the thing doesn't bend though, like I'm never drawing. Oh, I see how this is going to work. I should play this game. This game's cool. It's such a cool game. Wait, what? Oh, can I bring stuff? Sneaky. I can't just push. Wait, why did I do that? Why don't I just put you here? Oh. And then... Yeah, I shouldn't play too much of this game. Yeah, I mean... I think it's sufficiently different that the code wouldn't quite work. But yeah, the grabbing onto something is similar. The trunk can drag against things and bend the path. Oh, is that what happens in... Oh, I see. So if there's like an obstacle, it'll bend. Right. I'm not doing any... That's not going to happen in this at all. Because the trunk's not going to come with you. When you walk, it's just going to draw a path. So you never push the trunk against something. It's always just drawing along where you walked. I think it's going to be fine. you'll see, I guess. Drawing. So what was it going to be? I was going to say if the face, I was just going to think about the face. If the face is moving and there's no player there, then we're walking forwards. And if there's a... Oh gosh, this is going to be complicated. What if I'm like on a... Oh no. What if I'm like... Okay, player is here. Face is here. I mean, if I'm moving forward, I'm always removing that. That's fine. And then at the next stage, I was thinking if it bends off that way, well, that stage, I guess I can't walk forwards because I'd be standing on my own trunk. I wonder if that would be clear or not. Yeah, I'll deal with it when I get to it. Yeah, exactly. Your trunk is going to like fill up the space, but you're going to need to fill up the space to make paths to pull the objects along. So there's going to be I can't quite see what the puzzles are going to look like yet. It might turn out that the puzzles don't really work very well, but fingers crossed it'll be interesting. I think once you have a sufficiently dynamic system, there's always some amount of puzzles you can produce from it. Hopefully enough, and hopefully they're fun. So if there's a face and no player, and we walk forwards, and there is a trunk. Oh, I need to do directional. I really, yeah. This is the sad part. If only it was possible to templatize based on direction. Face, trunk right. I know there are loads of forks that let you do that, but yeah. Trunk right, and then here there's a trunk left. I'll put the no player first, I think. Trunk left. Then we want to end up with, well, the face is going to move. Right. It's going to go. It's just that. Let's see if that works. Let's do it along that direction. Yay! Why did he write first? I always do up first. Up. Up. Down. Probably going to be a lot of cases that I need to think about here. Oh, why am I changing that one? Down. Left. Down. Left. Then the opposite. Up. Right. Okay, so in theory I can now consume my own trunk. There we go, yeah. Okay, now the opposite direction. Forward movements. Backward movement. So if we're in the opposite direction, we've got a face. How should I do this? I'll say I'll put player on, I'll try and keep it oriented the same way around. So player on this side. Player on that side, and then face on this side going towards player. And that makes it a bit easier to understand. Oh, face. Towards the player. Then we leave it the same. But we draw in a trunk. Is this going to be a problem? What if I can't move? Do I have to factor that in? I do have to. Let's just do it first and I'll factor it in afterwards. Right, hold on, so upwards player face. Where the player is, we want a up, yeah, trunk up, down here, face, down. I think I said this already a bit earlier, but yeah, the original idea wasn't involving an elephant at all because I didn't know the theme of the jam. But the original idea was just like a Zelda-like hookshot. And I have I would still like to do that. Because I think there's potentially more potential with that idea, but I thought it was interesting to try and do something with the theme as well, so whatever. Down, up. I almost couldn't pass up the opportunity, considering the idea of an elephant infinitely extending its trunk is quite fun, so I've had to do it. Right. Okay, so in theory we can now draw in both directions. Let's go test over here. Let's disconnect by doing that for now. Okay. We're eating it up. Okay. Whoa, what just happened there? Oh, because I'm not. Oh, because I'm still in drawing mode. Yeah, that's fine. That's expected. Okay. It's definitely behaving weird, but it'll behave better later. So if I extend, it extends. Okay. Extend. Extends. Consume. Extend, consume. Yep, perfect. Okay. Problem is going to be if I do like this and then go backwards. Yeah, okay, I knew that would be a problem. Because I can't move. Yet it still draws the thing. Best way of doing that is what? Best way of dealing with that is... Well, this is right at the end, so I know if things are moving or not. Yeah, I know. Okay, so need to take into account what's like behind the player. And if it's a stationary, let's just do stationary dynamic for now. Static should also be included. Oh, no, it has to be a moving. Oh, or nothing. Ah. How do I want to do this? Basically, there's got to be nothing blocking my way. How do I? Or I do it the other way around, where I just assume I am going to move, and then later, when it turns out I can't. At this point, I know already. I already know if I can move or not. Going to move marker on the player. Yeah. Well, so the player has movement applied to them. But the only reason they're not moving in this particular turn is because the solid objects in front of them on the same layer, and so it's using PuzzleScript's collision layers to stop me. At this point, I don't know that the player's not going to move unless I look at what's there. Because I do know if a dynamic object, i.e. a crate, I think pretty much just the crates at the moment, is stationary, I know it's not moving. So I could use that, I could factor that in. But it needs to be, I want to draw this line, that if either there's nothing there, or if there's something that's moving there. I guess I could do 2 rules for each. I mean, I guess let's just first see if that works. So what would it be? It would be, let's just try it in one direction first. Up, sure. Or no dynamic, no static. Make sure that stays on the other side. Yep. Yep. So upwards. Okay, so that's like this. Oh gosh. Wait, why have I switched already? What just caused... Okay, no, hold on, because I'm not doing anything to do with what kind of player I am. Whoops. Wait, so do I draw... Oh yeah, okay, I haven't factored that in at all. Yeah, that's silly. Okay, so this is actually a bad way of doing this. Up. I should just include the player in this bit. I know there's going to be no player. Because the player's going to be on this side. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Player, but it's not just going to be any player, it's going to be elephants extended. I should just put it said like drawn or something. It'll be remember well. You go there, you go there, there, you go there. Then we can get rid of the no player. Necessary because there's only ever going to be one player, so it's fine. And then this also needs to take that into account. So it's one of those players. Player, player, player. Oh, hello, Shark. Are you also taking part? I haven't really been keeping track of what everybody's doing. But thanks. Thank you for the look. Extended. Right, I have not added cells properly here. Wait, I didn't do it at all. What have I done? I guess I just forgot. Yeah, okay. So we don't draw right now until I'm extended, then I draw and I consume. And then I'll still draw because like I haven't sorted out what happens when it rotates. Yeah, okay. Well, this is good. You can draw and eat it back up. There's maybe an I keep seeing these like half implemented things, thinking, wow, there's like an interesting idea in this. I could do something with this. Like maybe I'm using like a paint roller and making marks on the floor or something. Anyway, that's all good. Okay, so I need to take into account. Oh, so what I wanted to test was the upwards but backwards movement. It's when I'm oriented upwards but moving backwards. So let's push you down. Okay. Then I'm going to extend and do this. That should have drawn up to here in this face. Yes, it did. Okay. In fact, let's bring you back one more. I want to test properly. So let's do this. Extend. So I'm now extended. Draw. That's exactly one. Draw. Exactly another one. Draw. Another one. Let's undo. Yeah, that's fine. Now push again. And it didn't do anything. Cool. That's exactly what I needed to do. Now, do I want to do it with 2 rules? Potentially, like maybe it's just simpler to do it with 2 rules. It is duplication. But the alternative is like doing some calculation to figure out if I'm going to move or not. I'm going to at least add a new group that includes both dynamics and statics. What should I call that? X. That's terrible. Go the other way. Oh. Whatever is happening. They're called X. Where are those rules? Oh. No. Okay, I think I've done that in a few places. Well, there's one, obviously. The one found. No X. No static, no dynamic, no X. Yep, X. It's probably a better. I guess I could call it like object or something. Yeah, that probably would have made more sense. It's too late. It's happened. Okay. I can extend. I can draw. And if I've got something, oh, I need to. Whatever. I have no way of getting out of draw mode at the moment. Okay, what about this situation? Against the wall. Yeah, that's pretty good. Ooh. Okay. Consume it again. Yeah. Nice. I can draw dashed lines. Let me stack a bunch of these rigid bodies against each other. Then do. Let's do it on here. Okay. Oh no! No, it still happens. Why? Oh, because I only did it on one direction. Okay. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. So, moving dynamic. Moving dynamic. Moving dynamic. 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 No, it's definitely my fault. So I guess just copy paste that. Copy paste. Oh gosh, I'm losing track of what I'm copy and pasting. No, copy and paste that rule. Yeah, that one. That one. They just love copy and pasting everything. Like, best way to code. No X. No X. That'll do. Oh no. Oh, because I need to change that to no. I just need to remove it entirely. Not that one. That one. That one. Okay, let's put all these rigid bodies next to each other. I'm just so happy this rigid body code works. Look at this, like it knows like which ones are connected to which other ones. Whee! And it just keeps them separate. It's nice. Like I've started seeing the red connector things as like little bits of sellotape holding them together. Okay, so what I wanted to do was stack all these together, and then do this and do that. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yay! Cool. Backward movement done. Now rotations. This might not be that complicated actually. Once I've done rotations, what else is there? Isn't that it? That's all the kind of movement there is. I need to do things like stop all the stuff from moving onto the trunks. Oh yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, maybe not if I treat them as any other static object or dynamic. They don't move. I guess they're static, even though they get created and destroyed. Yeah, if I put them on the same layer and treat them as static, I think. Okay. But first, rotations. I did consider that maybe, you know, in Steven Sausage Roll, I don't know if you've played it, but I guess this is a minor spoiler for early in the game. Okay, I won't say the specific thing, but Steven Sausage Roll has similar movement, but there is a certain action you can do where you end up having strafe. Like, you no longer have like tank controls. It's not really tank controls, whatever this is. You no longer have this movement, but you end up with tank controls. You end up with strafing, so you just like you sidestep, or you can walk backwards or forwards in a particular mode. So I thought about whether in this mode you should also get that. Yeah, I don't know whether the other 4 people might not have played, and it's a great game to play, so I wouldn't want to ruin it. Also, the moment when that starts happening is really good. So yeah, I was wondering whether I should move into that mode or keep drawing. I think I like the idea of just keeping drawing. I like, as in, keep rotating, and it just draws along the rotation. It's just something kind of fun about that. I think I'm going to stick with that. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Also means I have to do less movement code. I can just stick with the movement code I've got. Oh, I really don't know what the puzzles are going to look like for this, but we'll see. We're going to attach to the side of your head when you rotate. Attach to the side of your head when you rotate. It's gonna... So this, if you think of the way this is going to work, is that the blue object is like the body of the elephant. And the yellow square really shouldn't be a whole square. It should just be like a little face on the front of the elephant. And then, like, just 2 pixels in. And then when I rotate, this line is going to get drawn like up to that cell and then over to that cell. And if I rotate again, it's going to keep going from the cell up to there, left, left, down. So effectively, this yellow square is going through those spaces and dragging and drawing the trunk with it. And the direction that goes, because what's going to happen next, the next thing to implement after I've done the drawing logic, is when I press X again, it's going to pull the rigid body that it's connected to along that path. It'd be weird if your body rotated around the end of your trunk when you're in draw mode. Around the end of your trunk. Probably a different puzzle. Right. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, it's going to have some weirdness in it. It's not going to be very scientifically accurate. It's already not. So, I'm going to put my other light on. One moment. Probably didn't make at all a difference on the actual webcam, but it made the room a little bit brighter. Okay. So rotations. If I'm rotating, the good thing about rotating is I know at a certain point into the rules, I know whether I'm rotating or not. The head left, trunk down, head up, trunk right, etc. Set sprites her. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do yes, but I'm gonna do it like by compositing multiple sprites together. So there'll be a head left sprite and a trunk down, or trunk up, and so on. I thought about that as well. I was like, oh no, but then I realized I could just like combine multiple ones. It's probably going to be fine. This is a very complicated rule set. However, I kind of like that it's a complicated rule set, but it's not that like unintuitive. Once you've like experimented a tiny little bit, it'll like be pretty clear what's going on. There won't be any. Nothing will feel too weird after you've established that your elephant can extend its trunk and then drag it out forever. So yeah, it's complex but simple. Complex but intuitive, maybe? Not intuitive, I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, the good thing about rotating is at this point I know whether I'm rotating. Place marker to indicate where trunk should rotate to, and then later on I rotate the trunk. So at this point I know it's happening. If this isn't set, I'm not rotating. Which is good. Where do I move the face? Right, here, yeah, okay. So I remove the face. Here, the face gets removed. And replace it with, I place a thing on the player saying, oh, the trunk's going to be upwards, or it's going to be rightwards now, or downwards, leftwards. Well, one of the confusing things at the moment is I'm reusing the trunk rotate objects for the drawing, so they don't actually represent rotating. I've just used them again since there's no clash. I should probably change the name of them. In fact, let's leave it for now. I've gotten used to it. But anyway, so at this point I know whether I'm rotating. So I can do rotational movement. What do I need to know? Ooh. Kind of tricky. I sort of want to do it before. I want to do at least some of it before I've removed the face, so that I can start drawing from the face. Yeah. At this point, if trunk rotate is on the player still, I know I'm rotating. And so before here, I know the face is there. I'm going to write that in actually. If trunk rotate is still on the player, we know we are going to rotate. I think that's true. I could find out. I could test it. Player trunk rotates. Player trunk rotates. Debug. I've got a debug object that will show up. So, in theory, if I rotate, when I can rotate, I end up with a, okay, it's ruining everything, but it does indeed show up. Right, it destroys, like, where things can go. Why? Why does it do that? A little weird. Why does it end up with movement? Oh, is it on the same layer as trunk rotate? I bet that's what it is. It is, yeah, let's not do that. Otherwise, my debugging will be as confusing as the bugs that I'm trying to debug. Okay, so I end up with a red square on top of the player. If I move and do it, I do that. If I end up in a situation where I can't rotate anymore, it doesn't show up. Okay. And that's even true with rigid bodies. Rotate. Oh no, because I could do that rotation. Okay, turn around, go up, rotate that way. Yep, doesn't show up. Cool. At this point, I know that we're going to rotate, so I want to draw. I either want to draw or undraw. Oh no, I need to. I mean, I'll think about it later, but there's going to be the situation where what if I'm rotating? I'm thinking like, oh, I want to draw, but I actually can't rotate. Well, I would. Okay, I was thinking, what about the situation where there's already trunk? Like, if I've already walked around in a weird loop, there's already trunk like that, and I want to rotate that way. Well, I'm gonna change the rotation rule so it says that no, this is like a solid object. You can't rotate like that. Yeah, that makes sense. So then I don't have to worry about it. I just, at this point, I already know I'm not able to rotate, so that's fine. You would be able to rotate this way, and then with like, okay. I don't know if that's actually visible. It's pretty small on the screen. Okay. Getting such a dry mouth from all this talking. Okay, I'm 5 hours and 20 minutes into the jam for me. I mean, it's actually been like almost 24 hours of the whole thing. That's not very well going, is it? Like, I'm going to try and get all 48 hours done. Oh well, let's not worry about it. Let's just do as much as I can. Rotate's still on the player. We know we're going to rotate. Okay, so at this point, we know we're going to rotate. So we're either removing or we're drawing. Let's assume we're drawing first. Yeah, the problem with the forward movement and the backwards movement, I always know whether I'm drawing or not because I wouldn't be able to end up in a situation where I'm walking backwards and consuming, because I'd be standing on my own trunk at that point, and that's not possible. With rotation, it's not that simple because every rotation could be, could be drawing or undrawing, erasing, I guess is the word. So at this point, is face still moving? That's the maybe. Because this is the cancelling of rotation. Where's the last place that I saw face? What's all this stuff? That's rigid crate movement, face. Yeah, face is still moving at this point. So I know which way face is moving. I could just draw a... Okay, this is nice. Right, and face wouldn't be... Ah, this is great. Okay, so if face is still moving at this point, we can just draw... I'm going to need to do every direction still. Up, face, and up with a moving face. And this space has to be free, otherwise this wouldn't be happening anymore. So I can just assume it's going to be free and do keep it moving, because I think I probably... Oh no, I end up removing it, but I'll keep it moving anyway, who cares? With a... Ooh, problem is I don't know whether it's going that way or that way. Oh, that's okay, it doesn't matter. I'm still drawing the same line. Oh, this is great. Trunk up, trunk down. Wonderful. Wonderful. And then if I do it the other way around, it's also correct, because in both those cases I end up drawing the same thing. That is nice. Okay. It's always nice when the maths of it like ends up making the rules nice. Face, face, trunk up, trunk down. I'm assuming we're drawing at the moment. I also need to make sure we're actually in drawing mode. Ooh, that's a good point. How do I do that? Like, the face doesn't know. I guess I could make the face know. Maybe I should have used a marker. Yeah, okay, I'm going to change what my approach. I'm going to not have two player objects. I'm going to have player just be elephant. It's just elephants. Hold on. Yes. And then I'll have to change the name of the object here. And then have marker extended. I changed to extended draw and erase. Yeah, let's do that. Marker draw. It's going to be transparent. No, marker draw is going to be that, and then marker erase is going to be transparent. No, wait, what? No, that's not what I'm doing. It's not draw erase. It's just, am I in draw mode or not? What's the opposite of draw mode? Wait, why don't I just use the absence of the thing? Yeah, okay, that makes much more sense. Yes. Absence of marker draw means I'm not drawing. Okay. So we've got that. Which layer can that go on? That's fine. Player is just elephant. There may be later players, so I'll leave it that as that. The marker needs to be able to go on top of both the player and the face, so not there, but it could be separate. I don't want to end up destroying the nostrils, so no. Rigid up, trunk up, no. I think I just need it to be on a different layer entirely. Target's not even a layer, I'm actually going to be using whatever. Let's just do a new layer with marker draw. Okay, so action player, which is the elephant, becomes let's just say action elephant. No marker draw becomes action elephant marker draw, and we might as well put the other one in. I can toggle between the two, but I need to make sure they apply immediately after each other. What are we doing? Because right now that would happen, and then that would happen immediately afterwards. Do I care about the action anymore? Do indeed. Like firing out the thing. Yeah, okay. I mean, I could put the action on the marker draw. Oh, all this stuff to fix. Oh gosh, all this stuff to fix. So this is actually elephant marker draw. I hope I'm doing this right. Yeah, I think so. All these. How's that? No errors. I toggle. It just fires every time. That's fine. And I can still draw that, but the whole point of doing this was to replace. Okay, so I want to tell the face that we're drawing, and then I'll later just remove it. So if basically tell the face we're drawing. So player marker draw face. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. Player marker draw face is going to become player marker draw face marker draw, and then later on I'll just remove it. Before we remove the face, where do we remove the face? Here. Oh, right after. So after this stuff, I'll just remove it again. Face marker draw. Still want to leave it behind. Okay. So if we have a face marker draw, then we end up with a face marker draw with drawn trunk. So that doesn't draw anymore, but if I do this and then do that, it does. Oh, it's so satisfying. Quick with the mute. I've got a shortcut for it. Control and like, mice have like a forward button on them. I use control and that. Okay, so that was one of them. And if I do the other way around, it also works. That's really nice. So now I just need to like do this for the other directions as well. A lot of these rules are ending up simpler than I expected them to be, which is good. Right. Trunk. Oh, so what do I need? So if motion is rightwards, oh, so it is just right and then left. Yeah, okay. So it's the direction that the rule is, and then the opposite direction. Down. Direction that the rule is, down, and then the opposite direction. Up. And left. Direction that the rule is, and then right. Okay. So now in theory, extend and do that, we're good. Extend and do that, we're good. I did it that way, we're good, we're good. Down, that way, good, that way, we're good. That way, nice. Cool. Sweet. So that's part of it. That's half of the turn, and then do the other half of the turn. It's interesting. Why did I stop drawing there? Like I didn't intentionally stop. I did that. I did that. I started drawing backwards. Whoa, that's bad. Oh, I'm not moving the thing with me. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm leaving the thing behind, and that's screwing everything up. I have to create it again. Yeah. But I can't just make it move with me because I might not actually move. It's always quite annoying. I guess I'll just have to check, am I actually moving or not again. Maybe I should do the calculation up front. It might be actually useful to know in advance whether I'm actually moving. But then only have a single rule for each of these things. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do another marker. Marker. Moving. Transparent in this case. So where do I use it? This is where I did the double rules. And I also want to use it here. No, I don't. Let's just do it. Let's just do it here for now. Add a marker moving to player if the player is actually going to move. We'll do that based on this. So we'll do the two rules, but just here. And we don't have to have separate rules for each direction in that case. That's way nicer. Okay. So moving dynamic. We'll do it like this: player moving dynamic. And then, so in that case, we have a player that is marker moving, and the moving dynamic should stay. Alternatively, if we have a player moving into a no X, why did I call it that? Then we also have marker. And then we could just use that instead of duplicating all these rules. Okay, so. That's up, right, down, left. Yes, okay. So it's not moving dynamic, it's just moving marker on the elephant. Oh, so I don't even need that thing anymore. Okay, that entire cell can go away. Indeed. It's gone. There we go. Elephant. So it's an elephant with a moving marker and a marker draw. Oh, marker moving. Marker moving and a marker draw. Elephant marker moving, marker draw. Elephant marker moving, marker draw. Marker moving, marker draw. Marker moving, draw. Go. And at the end, I'll just remove it, clean up. Elephant. Oh, not just elephant. Player. Marker moving. Player. Okay. Now, okay, on a layer. Has to be on another new layer. That's always the annoying thing with markers. You need a new layer for like pretty much every single one because often they can overlap. Okay, so what was the problem? I did something like this, and I rotated, and then that didn't come with me. Okay, it's still not going to come with me. That was the thing I was going to do. At the end of everything, it could be before the cleanup. It has to be before the cleanup. I'm going to say, if I have a moving player with a marker moving, which means it's actually moving, there with a marker draw on top of it, then move the marker draw. I could remove the marker moving now. I don't like to mix the rules up though, otherwise I'll get confused later on. Why has marker moving disappeared? So, even though it's more inefficient, I'll just do this. Maybe I should just make marker moving move as well, even though I'm about to remove it, just because, you know, if something goes wrong, it'll be nicer that this is moving along the markers with the player. It'll be like, it'll probably cause less confusing looking bugs. Okay, so that's turn, move. It still stays there. That was weird. Oh, hold on. What happens if I just like step backwards? Yeah, okay. Why is it not coming with me? Player, marker moving, marker draw. Oh, because I put that on that side. Whoops. There we go. There we go. That's better. Up, up, up. Okay, cool. Whoa. That's fine. That rotation wouldn't be allowed because the trunk's in the way. You wouldn't actually be able to form a junction like that in the trunk. That'd be weird. Okay. Okay. Getting there. Ah. So I've been doing the drawing, I haven't been doing the erasing, and I've got the other half of the rotation to still do. There's quite a lot left. But it's definitely, the code's not that horrendous. Yeah, this is not bad at all. I think I'm confident that I can continue to do the rest of the rules without it being breaking everything. Almost 6 hours now. But yeah, no. I was hoping to spend only 8 hours on the rules, which might actually be how it ends up. What time is it today, right now? 10 o'clock. Another couple of hours tonight. Maybe I'll have most of the rules finished tonight. I want to add things like water and things. Like it's going to be a classic, like try and get across the water to somewhere type game, I think. Kind of like Cyber 2. I guess that wasn't water, but you know what I mean. But like navigate from room to room. I find this satisfying. So water. No, but I also need to do the actual like pulling as well. Maybe it'll take longer than 8 hours, but like it is just a complicated rule set and it needs to get done. And then once it's done, though, I think it'll be pretty cool. I like this movement. That's so good. Okay. I like, my favorite thing is that kind of motion. I love how that works. When I tried that earlier, I was like, I'm not expecting this to work, and it just worked. Like 2 different motions at the same time. Useful. That's so satisfying. Anyway. And the trick to it, I don't know if you saw what I was doing earlier, the trick to it is that there's 2 movement steps. Like there's the movement that's caused by either forward, backwards, or like the initial part of the rotation. So like that movement. That's one movement step. If that gets cancelled, then we don't continue trying to do the rest of the movement, the rotation. Like if that can't happen, we don't keep going. If that does happen, then we try and move. Like I try and move whatever's in this space to the right. There's a separate movement step, and we just rerun all the movement code at that point. So it's probably not that efficient, but I don't really know a better way of doing it. If that gets cancelled, then we just cancel the rotation entirely. So in theory, if I like set up a situation where this won't look that great, there's no animation, but if I swing upwards now, the left block can move upwards, but the other ones can't move to the right. So the left one will still move upwards though. Like it still does the partial swing, which I think I quite like, but it will only make sense if I put a little animation in. I think that's how it works in Steven Sausage Roll as well. I don't quite remember. It makes sense that you can nudge the first block, but not the next ones, I think. Yeah, it would definitely be weird if you couldn't push that, for sure. Anyway, I should stop focusing on the mechanics I've already implemented and make the new ones. So, okay, so that, and it draws. So should I do the, whoa, look at that, isn't that cool? I'll do the second half of the rotation, I guess. Then I'll do the cleaning up from the rotation. So where am I? Rotation phase 1, rotation phase 2. Drawing, rotation phase. Drawing, forward, backwards phase. And then this is rotation again. Rotation phase 3, okay. Wowie. Okay. So the other half of the rotation, that might actually need to be somewhere else. I think it will need to be somewhere else. What's happening in the Discord? Yeah, I think most people are. Yeah, there was discussion about having a mechanic that is like, because like the obviously the phrase "elephant in the room" is like something that's everybody knows about but doesn't want to talk about. Somehow make a mechanic around that abstract idea. I don't even know what that would look like. There were some suggestions. Who doesn't forget what you did last time? I get your messages a bit after, like, or you see me a bit later, so it can be a bit delayed between me responding or you saying something and me responding. Undo doesn't forget what you did last time. What do you mean by that? It might have looked like I was undoing, but I was actually just like rotating back. But that should undo the line. That's me rotating back. But I'm going to get to that afterwards. I'm going to first do the second half of this rotation. How do I do that? Okay. Do I continue it from here? Because at this point, like, I know that the second space in these rules is the space that I'd be drawing from. Do I know which direction I'd be drawing? I could figure it out. Alternatively, later on, when I actually... where is it actually? Here, I determine that this is when I decide that the truck is going to now be upwards and the truck is going to now be rightwards. Potentially figure it out here uneasily. Either way, it's not easy. I've got to like propagate some markers of some sorts, I think. Yeah. I think I should just do it in the same section. Just let the... At this point, I have a separate rule for each direction. Effectively saying which way is the face moving at that point. So we would sort of need to know which way is like this rotation, the face moves up and then left. And this rotation, which uses the same rule right now, it's going up and then right. It needs to know at this point which way it's going, where it's going to go. Which it probably could know based on where the player is. Like when I put the marker drawer on the face, I could leave something else on the face that says, "Oh, also keep in mind that you're going to be rotating this way." It will mean I need a directional rule for each of these now. Basically, it's the direction that the player is relative to the face to begin with. Oh, why don't I do that then? That works. Require a whole bunch of rules. No, other people are saying like they've got 10 levels done. I'm still working on my rules. That's what I get for doing something so complicated. Okay. And then I have to do the removing as well, after all. Okay, I don't think that'll be too hard actually. So, what's the fewest amount of rules? Let's say I do it. Let's say I effectively propagate stuff up from the face. So when I move like this, I propagate up. Thing saying move to the right. Well, then there's already a rule doing that to draw that line, which isn't happening. Why is that not happening? Oh, because I've exited that mode. Okay. Draw that line to there. I'm already going that way, in which case I might as well put a marker down at that point saying, oh, it's going that way, and then let's just do that. Yeah, okay. That is the easiest thing to do for sure. Okay. In which case the direction that the player is relative to the face matters. So why don't I just say that here? I can put a thing on the face saying what direction I am from the face, and here I can use that, propagate it up to the thing, and then draw away from that. That sounds doable. Okay, so do I have a good thing to use as a direction marker? Like, can I just use one of the ones I've already got? Can I use trunk rotate? What do I use that for? Trunk rotate. Use it for the extension at the beginning. Then I remove it, I think. I also place it on the player. Rotate, how are you used? I think you're always on the player. Yeah. Shouldn't double use you though, should I? No, let's not. Let's be smart. Optimize later. Or should I not be smart? Let's be stupid. Okay, let's just do it. So I'm gonna put a thing on. Where is it? It's here. On the face, saying which way the player is from the face. So up, then the player is down. Trunk, rotate, down. When's the next time trunk rotation comes up? Down here. Well, I've removed them by that time. Yeah, this is fine. This is totally fine. So copy that. Yet another set of directional rules. So then I put on this one, I put a trunk rotate right. No, opposite left. Here I do an up. Here I do a right. Then at this point, we push that along to the other thing as we're drawing. Oh no! Oh, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So trunk rotates. We push it along into there. I was thinking I'd have to do like 4 of each of these, but no, we're good. Am I doing this right? Trunk rotate into there. Yep. Rotate to there. Oh my gosh, looks like people are making really cool things in the Discord. Should I post mine? It looks very ugly. Okay, so rotates, gets forward along. Yeah, maybe you could make a... Let's do something in like an hour. See what comes out of it. Right, yeah. Can you do something on the plane? How long's the flight? So the trunk rotate is now on there. So now I can like... So the one trunk rotate that is not on the player, I can now draw from. I have no idea. There should now be one trunk rotate not on the player, representing the direction in which to draw the trunk for the second half of the rotation. So let's just see if that's true. So in the upwards direction, no. Effectively, there should be no player trunk rotates up. Yeah, I do want this in the upwards direction. Okay. Get rid of the trunk rotate at this point. This is a good place to get rid of it. Yeah, it doesn't matter what's there. Get rid of the trunk rotate, but add in a trunk up and a trunk down. Is this right? This is the kind of stuff where I'm like, I honestly have no idea if I'm writing anything sensible anymore. Down, left, right, right, left, down, down, up. Left, left, right. What on earth did that just do? Whoa, I think this is what I get for trying to reuse a marker that I'm already using for something else. Right, yeah, of course, because at this point, I used the trunk rotates at this point to extend this out. I definitely need a new marker. Yeah, okay. Oops. Let's call it trunk draw up. Did not work out the way I wanted it to work out. Down. Left. Everybody's posting their works in progress. What are we gonna get? Trunk draw. Okay, so now we have a new thing. Trunk draw. Trunk draw up or trunk draw right or oh, that's not trunk draw right. It's trunk draw right or trunk draw down or trunk draw left. And that can go on a different layer entirely. It doesn't. They can be on their own layer, so that's fine. Maybe I could do it on. I could do it on marker moving layer. That's totally fine. Trunk draw. I mean, I'm yet to draw my elephant, so I wonder how it'll turn out. I'm actually not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I might end up using one of the forks with higher pixel density, not density, but like high resolution objects. Which I guess does give you higher pixel density if you're viewing it in the same area. Anyway, so I can change this. I should now be. I need to do. What was it? Ooh. Surface with drawings, but then change this to a trunk draw down, draw left, draw up, draw right, and if trunk rotate is still in the player, we know we're going to rotate. True, I think that's all still the same. No, it's not. I need to move the trunk draw instead. That's ooh. That. We finish off the drawing the second half of the rotation by drawing in the direction indicated by the draw that we have propagated. Propagated. So it's not trunk rotate, trunk draw up, draw right, draw down, draw. Is that going to fix it, or is it still broken? Oh no, why is that drawing there? That bit's right. Why is it drawn that extra little bit of trunk? Oh, weird. It's only when initially sending it out. You can like step back and then rotate and it's fine. Look how cool this is. Whoa. Oh, also that was bad. How many bugs do I have? Like that shouldn't have drawn. That's something I already fixed. Oh god, oh no. Whoa, I've made a double-ended trunk. By accident. Anyway, it's getting close to what I want. Why is that drawing? The stuff I just did? What would make that happen? I'm not putting any trunk draws down unless I'm rotating. Right? When do I add the trunk draws? Here. This only happens if player marker draw face. Oh no, I just do this anyway. Ah. I only need to do this when I'm rotating. How do I know I'm rotating at this point? If there's a trunk rotate. Yes. Why don't I do... Or if there's a non-stationary trunk rotate. Think. Holy moly, these rules. This is the kind of thing, if I come back to it in the future, I'm really not going to know what on earth I did. Whatever. Okay, that's better. Hey, look at it. I drew a circle. Way. Oops. So what about that problem though, where it's like if I go here and go backwards? Okay, that fixed it. Oh, except there's a separate problem. Oh, that's not a separate problem. That won't be an allowed move because I'll be stepping onto my trunk. So that's fine. Hopefully that's not going to be too unintuitive. Like I wouldn't be able to walk forwards here. In fact, so like if you ever loop around yourself, you're stuck. I mean, you could do it a different way. You could like, could you do it a different way? Is this very restrictive? Which I don't mind. Like, no, yeah, I guess you always have to do turns like that. That's kind of interesting, actually. If you, oh, that adds an interestingness to the how you could move. which puts like pretty strong constraints on the kind of lines you could draw. Ooh, like that. Because I can never walk forwards. I keep rotating, but then I can't move anywhere. I'm totally stuck, except to keep rotating, which I can't there, but if I did it here, then I'm very stuck. But after a rotate, you have to move backwards. That's fun. That's pretty fun. That's such an interesting little constraint on the way you draw. I'm excited. This is good. Okay. Probably won't make a game for this, but still very excited to see what comes out of the game that you're making. Me too. Unfortunately, you're not making one, but yeah, I guess it's difficult to find a time where everybody would be able to. Hopefully, we'll do another one like not too long from now. Because I always think I should take part in Ludum Dares or Ludum Dares more often. Maybe even the GMTK one. I quite like that the GMTK one is very like mechanics focused, which makes it quite suitable for puzzle games. I think now that there is a Thinky Puzzle Games Jam, it's like the ideal place for me to just, like spend, you know, a couple of days doing something that I otherwise wouldn't have time to do. I really like this restriction of where I can walk. Exciting. I was concerned that the movement, like the path that you could drag stuff, would end up being too powerful. I think that is not a concern anymore. The fun thing is, like, stuff gets pushed while you're drawing. That won't be allowed because that will push onto the trunk. Oh, this is fun. This is really cool. I do say so myself. I need to not get too distracted just playing with it. That's funny. Like, that won't be an allowed move either. Unless I like make the trunk curve through the space so that you can actually have two in the same space. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Ooh. Oh no. Really? Maybe. I'll think about that later. Anyway, cool. I can draw stuff. It's broken if I try and move through any like disallowed movements. I guess I can't yet undraw that. No. I can undraw that bit, but not the curve that I made. Interesting. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. I'm really enjoying this. So undrawing. Undrawing. It's when in draw mode, but the things are already there. That's what I need to take into account. Let's double check that when I'm not in draw mode, nothing happens. There's no drawing ever, right? No. Cool. I get too distracted just playing with the mechanics I've already done. Okay, so next thing is that. Unwinding the trunk. So drawing rotation phase. So that's true. That is the drawing rotation phase. I didn't have to split it up at all. That is rotation phase 3. Oh, I don't need 2 rules here, do I? Oh no, that is the place where I need 2 rules. Okay. So that's not part of the rotation phase. That is moving marker. Moving marker. Call it that. Okay. Ooh. So drawing rotation phase, but now unwinding. How's that going to work? Surely just similar. Till the face with drawing. Yep, okay. And we are drawing. Rotate is still on the player. We know we are going to rotate. Wait, I don't actually use that fact anymore. Oh, I use that up there. Okay. This is if there's no. I'll be specific about it. No trunk up. That'll do. I don't need to say whether there's anything on the other one. This is if there's no right, no trunk down, left. So now I just need another rule for each of them. Let's do it separately. Drawing, erasing. So if there is a trunk up, then there's presumably a trunk down here. Oh, I hope that's always true. And then they're gone. I do still need to send the trunk draw so I can erase the next bit. Yes, okay. There is a trunk right, there is a trunk down, there is a trunk left. It needs to go away. That can go away. Go away, go away, go away, go away. Let's just do that for now. So that should do the first half of the curve. Or it's actually, yeah, I guess it's, yeah, okay, that works. Ooh, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't get rid of the other half. Like that bit. Why not? That's right. There is a trunk right. Oh, because I need to actually put it, I do need to put it in the left. Oh yeah, I did it on the first one, I didn't do it on this one. Trunk left. Trunk. Oh, I've messed this one up. This needs a trunk left, trunk right. Then that, oh yeah, I've really messed that up. Okay, there we go. Better. Yep. Okay, that's exactly what I expected. Now it's erasing. That's funny. Okay, that's because I haven't done the other half yet. There's that, and then it erases that bit and that bit. Yeah. Half done. Drawing first half, erasing first half. Drawing for second half. Erasing second half. That's going to be similar. Take this stuff. So it's a trunk draw. Oh, I don't need the no player anymore, do I? This is like a dedicated marker. Let's copy it again. So in this case, we've got trunk draw up, and we're expecting to have, well, if we have a trunk up and a trunk down, we'll remove them. So it's like the opposite. If we have a trunk right and a trunk left, remove it. if we have a trunk down and a trunk up, then we remove them. We have a trunk left and a trunk right, and we remove them. Is it that easy? No, it's not. Surprising. So in that situation, there's a trunk draw down there. So down, trunk draw down, trunk up. Yep, that's exactly what we should see. And then we're removing them all. No? Okay, so then I would assume then the trunk draw's not ending up there. Erasing first half. The erasing works, and the trunk draw should get passed along. It is the same directions towards the player. Let's try the different direction just in case I've got like some bug with that specific direction. I don't think so. Needs to be consistent. Okay, what on earth is wrong? Turn back. Does not erase that. Draw up. Let's do, I like this technique. Sound effect 0. Lovely sound. SFX 0. So I'm expecting when I do that to have a down, yeah, that happening. I mean, it's obviously not happening. So why am I even doing this check? Not happening. But I mean, erasing first half is happening to the right, right? Yes. If that sounds not too horrible. Okay, so that is applying. So there is a trunk draw over here. And it has to be a trunk draw down, right? In this case, because I put it there. Or maybe not. Maybe tell the face we're drawing. If trunk rotates still on the player, we know we are going to rotate. Player. There is an upwards one. The upwards player with a moving trunk rotate, yes. And a marker draw. So this is the marker draw's already been put there. Oh wait. No, the marker draw's on the player, right. And then I'm going to put the marker draw on. Oh, marker draw is a different thing. I do put a marker draw on the face. And I also put a trunk draw down. I don't think I actually need both of them, do I? Whatever. Trunk draw down. Yeah, that's right. Trunk draw down is now there. Then erasing the first half happens. That one. Let's just, in fact, let's just look at what rules get applied. Probably the sensible thing to do. There. Okay. Turn starts there. And all this happens. So we start with 2, 3, 1. Right, that's my one that always happens. I can ignore that one. 260. Trunk is still moved. Place marker on the player objects. This is just doing the rotation. That's fine. 260, 286. Drawing rotation phase. Going up. Player. This is the one I was just looking at. So we end up placing a trunk draw down on the face. 299. We end up moving the trunk draw to the right. Yep, it's there. Move it there. That's why I get the sound effect. And it triggers the sound effect. 307. Ooh, okay, maybe this is the problem. Whereas drawing, we should be just be erasing. Oh, okay, this is definitely the problem. Why are we drawing? Because we just draw if there's a trunk draw down. So it's, okay, easy. No trunk up. I didn't distinguish these two sections from each other. No trunk right. No trunk down. No trunk left. Okay, and then here, draw, erase. Oh, let's get rid of that sound effect. It works. It seems to work. Draw, erase, erase. Oh, I got rid of the sound effect. Oh, there's two. There we go. Draw, erase, draw all the way around, erase all the way around. Do that. This is looking great. I also like that the erasing gives you like the freedom to like undo without undoing. Even though of course you can undo, but like it's nice to not be stuck. Oh my gosh, like wait, oh, that's not intentional. That might just be caused by the fact it's on the thing though. Which is where it's not meant to end up. I mean, I should test if I just go over to this and do that move. Wait, what was the move? Go back through that. Was that? It must be because it's on the line. It's not meant to go on the line. In fact, pushing it is like messing up the sellotape. Like the little red bits of sellotape are ending up in the wrong place. Presumably because it's on the line. Presumably. Oops. there is a win condition for the level. It's just when that square up at the top is covered by a block. It definitely doesn't happen unless. Oh yeah, that's not a valid move. I should not have gone up that far. Oh, that's not a valid move. Ooh, no, look, something wrong with my rigid body. I'm breaking it apart, and it's not because it's on the line. It's going to be something simple, like I'm just not shifting something at the right time. What's the simplest way to demonstrate that then? Can I just like... Yeah, okay. That's the easiest way to do that. But if I'm like in it and when I shoot, yeah, same thing happens. But if I do it without drawing, so it's just something to do with the drawing logic and the rigid body movement, somehow they're conflicting. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. That'll be easily fixable. But that's cool. It looks like erasing and drawing is working. Yeah, I'm thinking, should I allow that? Two curves in the same space. They're not overlapping each other, so why not, huh? Why not? Uh, What time is it? 10 11. Yeah, like invalid moves break the line, but that's totally fine. Their invalid moves are not going to be allowed. This is so exciting. Will the puzzles be good? I think the puzzles will be good. So what should I do next? I guess I should fix that bug that I've just found. Wait, what just happened there? Was that normal? Yeah, that was normal. I just tapped twice quickly. I think. Stop playing with the existing mechanics and do what I need to do. Let's just set up the situation so I don't have to keep walking into it. QP. No. QP. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Done. Yeah, okay, easy. Let's just use the rules, I think, to do it. Right. Some things happening. Like, weirdly, the bottom three are going fine. It's like I'm wiping out the connection or something. Like I'm still shoving. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on, isn't it? Somehow I'm writing an object to a layer that is that's exactly what's going on. I didn't use those. I mean, what happens if I just put these on a different layer? Does it fix the bug? It does. Right, because they get shifted along afterwards. Okay, they just go on different layers, it's fine. It's totally fine, that was a quick fix. Trunk up. Right, trunk right, down, trunk left. I don't really have that many layers yet, surprisingly, considering how complicated this is. Hey. Okay. I guess since you're watching, Nog, do you want me to test on the stream? Or would you rather it be, you want me to check it separately? And then on stream, there's like off screen on stream or on screen on stream. I don't know which one I said. I'll open it up. Let's see. 1-3 fan T. 1-3 fan T. 1-3 fan T. That's true. It is spoilers. Yeah, I'll move it over here. Yeah, good point. Good point. I'll give it a quick go, and then if anything takes me a while, I'll hear the sound effects. The sound effects. Oh, I like this already. I like this already. Ah, okay, what's happening there? Oh. Ooh. See? Get it? I'm just not going to say much because. So okay, sorry for everybody else. I'm trying out a different game, but on a different screen, but avoid there being spoilers. So that requires that in order to be okay. Ooh, this is really cool. This is a cool idea. There to there. Can I make it back? Yes. Okay. Do that and then that. No. Hmm. How can this one work? Never. Really need to push it more over. How could that ever happen? Is there a... Oh, nice, I like it. That's really cool. That is really cool. Wait, this is cool. I like it a lot. How do I continue this? Like that, like that. Oh, okay. If I just push these, I should be safe, yes. Okay, I'm safe. Oh, but then they're like that. Oh no. That's fine. That's not fine. That's fine. Fine. Hey, I did it. It's okay. It's really cool. I like it a lot. And not too difficult. I love the. I think was it like level 5 or whatever, where you had to realize like a certain trick. That was good fun. I'd say that was probably the hardest level because there is that jump in figuring out that trick. But it's very easy to quickly see that there's no other option. There has to be something that you don't know yet. So I mean, it led me to try out something different. Really cool. I like the idea. I made a similar prototype at one point that was like a. I guess it's okay to describe a different game. It's not going to be the same. That was like a Roomba that was solar powered, but the character that was controlling the Roomba was a vampire, so I had to avoid the lights. That's maybe I should return to that idea. So like you have to like push the Roomba into the sun, but avoid going into the sun, and then clean up like the blood that was on the floor. It's a blood Roomba. Maybe I should return to that idea. Yeah, that was really cool. Should keep going with that for sure. Feels like there's probably quite a lot you could do with just what you've got. now, maybe? The last level felt quite similar to the previous level in that you had to do a similar trick. And then once you were on the other side of the level, there was a little bit of extra you had to do, but it was not like massively different. So maybe they could be either... Maybe the first level, maybe that level 4, could just require trick. I guess maybe it does maybe that is the most minimal level. I'm not sure. But just try and distinguish those two levels a bit more, maybe. 1-3 Fanti. Am I like saying a pun there without realizing? An idea for a game where you were a ghost who had to avoid light, but you can haunt objects for 5 or so moves. Ghost self won't move in that time, but the haunted object will. Interesting. This would block light and such. Yeah, there's so many ideas here. It's an L. Oh. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Right. I think next to the 3, it looks like a 1. Yeah, also games with light as part of them could involve like mirrors and stuff. That's always a nice thing to have. Anyway, cool. Yeah, that was good. Was that helpful? Yeah, maybe capital L would be good. Okay, how's this going? So, oh, so I just fixed that bug, didn't I? It was quite easy to fix. Yes, it was indeed. So next thing is probably to prevent movements that shouldn't be allowed. Cool. I look forward to the final game. There's going to be so many cool games to play. Like, when game jams happen and like a bunch of people from the Thinky Puzzle Discord take part, there's always a whole bunch of cool, interesting things to try out. That's not to say that other people from other, places don't also make cool things. But I just know that there's like a guaranteed set of like, I'm actually going to really enjoy this set of games. Now it's like 80 people from the Bond Discord. Oh, God. It'd be too much. I think 80 people signed up. Okay. So, we can erase, we can draw, we can erase. Oh yeah, that's true. Does this still work? If I like stand against the wall and then do that? Yeah, it all works perfectly fine. Oh, I coded it exactly the right way. I'm so proud of myself. Oh, let's not do the invalid movement. I can't imagine there'll actually be a level that requires such weird drawing. 89 people. Whoa. Wonder what the submit rate is for like a typical jam. There probably isn't a typical jam. Yeah, okay. We block invalid movements. That might be the last thing I can get done tonight. It depends, we'll see. Because after that, there's the pulling behavior, which is itself going to be really complicated. I'm going to need another 5 hours or something tomorrow to get the mechanics done, I think. What does that leave me with? Let's say I do 8 today. 13. I'm probably overthinking how much it really matters the time. It leaves a lot of time. 48 hours is a lot. Okay. Okie dokie. So stopping movements that shouldn't be allowed. But basically, I need to treat the trunk as a solid object, as a static solid object, and then everything's just going to resolve itself. That might be really simple. Might be incredibly simple. I just put the trunks in the static set. No way. Oh, I need to move stuff around. What if I move all of these down here? Okay, it doesn't stop that yet. Oh, no, now the problem is I can't rotate back because it sees it as like a static object that I can't rotate into. Let me try out something else though. Let's try that, and then come around here and try and push you. That works. Okay, that shouldn't work. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that's a weird movement that would work. Oh no. Okay. Apparently me streaming alerted someone to the fact that this jam is happening. Oh, well, I won the level. Okay, so this isn't going to work. It's not a good idea to... I need to only... Oh, wow. I just like said about... I said the first 3 words of about 5 different sentences. I can't use... It, like, I can't just stick trunk and static. I have to like explicitly... Or I could have 2 separate sets of static. There's like static in general for everything, which includes trunks. But then there's static for drawing, which doesn't include trunks. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that. What to call it though? Draw static, I guess. Wall. Just wall for now. And then static will be draw static and trunk, or trunk. Okay. Then what we'll do is when rotating, well, it's not about draw static, it's more about face static. It's what's static for the face. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Face static is wall. So when I'm rotating, what does that happen? Rotation phase 1. Thank goodness I put all these comments in. How did I do this? Station crate. Oh, so I explicitly did crate here. I didn't even use... Wait, no, why was that being prevented? Oh, that's... Wait, that's a dynamic. Hold on. Base... Yeah, okay, sorry, that's completely irrelevant. We can still move. That's not irrelevant. If we hit a stationary crate, okay, the crate can't move. We stop moving. That's in that position. I don't really care about that, do I? No, that's enough for that. How are we stopping this though right now? How are we stopping that? 236. I know what that is. 237. Oh, I just say base setting something static. Up there. Maybe I shouldn't do that up there and I should do it down here where I'm doing that other thing. Is that equivalent? Am I going to break stuff by moving this down here and doing static? Static. It's probably going to break something. Maybe, although that's just extension stuff. And then rigid create movement. Unsure. Oh. Oops. That one's fine. Line 237. 7. Oh, I just I lost a bracket. Is this still prevented? Yeah, that's still prevented. That's probably okay. Okay. That makes it a bit more consistent, I think. I could do a thing, so to avoid duplicating that, I could do a thing where I basically figure out what all the non-movers are and just put like a non-moving marker. Or the other way around, I could put a moving marker. Let's just duplicate it for now, that's alright. Stationary crates. There should probably be a stationary dynamic, I'll fix that later though. Stick your face into the static, face becomes stationary. Okay. Okay. Cool. So what was that? What was I doing? I was trying to make it so, okay, so now I need to say, but this needs to be face static, not static. Yes, that's the whole thing I was doing. Right. So then when I do this, I can still rotate back. No, I can't. Whoa, that really broke things. Guess it's an invalid move, so I shouldn't be too bothered that it broke things. As long as it doesn't break in valid moves, it seems to. Yeah, it's only, okay. So why when I do, let's just get everything out of the way, why when I do this and then try and rotate back, does it not work? 237 happens. Yep, that's the one that always happens. 269 happens. Left. Yeah, left perpendicular face. Then so then the front rotate left on the player. Yep. Perpendicular face. Yep, it's fine. 6 down applied. Cancel rotation if object in space being rotated into is not able to move. Oh, okay, so I already have that. Wait, what was the thing I was just doing? Oh, that's in the space next to you. Yep, okay. This needs to be face static. Face static. Cool. But if I go near a wall, let's do this. Or let's do something like, go away. This. That's fine. That's not fine. That's fine. That's not fine. That's a bad move. I shouldn't do it. Oop, go down, go this way, go that way. Down, yeah, this is good. That's not good, but that's fine. That's an invalid move. So, so the next thing is why can, if I extend that out, why can these things move onto them? That shouldn't be allowed. I'm surprised that is even working. I'm pretty sure they should be stopped by anything static. Maybe not, maybe I've just written crate somewhere or something, or wall. So this is on the second round of moving. What if I do it on the first round? The first push. Okay, it's still allowed. That is rigid movement phase 1. This is movement caused by any initial motion, not the motion at the end of a rotation. Okay, so what's the stop condition here? Well, the stop condition is if things can't move. Right, that's the problem with rigid, is that you can't like just cancel it yourself easily. I mean, in this case, I could throw the cancel keyword in there, and it would probably be fine. It's not ideal though. Yeah, I wish there was like a nice way. I mean, maybe there is. Let me go and look at the docs. So I think in this case, cancel would be fine. So, okay, so separate to what I'm saying, there is an issue with cancel when it's mixed with win. Or I might be mixing something up there. Or with again, or something. I think there might be some weird edge case where if two of the keywords are combined, you get some strange behavior. I think I might be thinking win and something else. Win and again, maybe? So the problem that I've got is that the way... Oops. Rita. The way a rigid body decides whether not to move or not is by using this rigid keyword, which I always have to relearn how it works every time I come back to PuzzleScript. But like, effectively, if in this rule group, which is actually ends up being every rule here because I've got these plus signs at the beginning. So if within the rule group, so basically these rules will apply as though everything's fine. It'll get to the end, it'll go through every other rule, it'll get to the end of the turn, it'll then go, okay, were there any objects in rigid rules that actually, at the end of it all, couldn't move because they were blocked by something else? And if that's the case, then it winds back the whole thing, it just cancels the whole thing, plays out the whole turn again, but just skips this rule group. It just goes, oh, let's not apply that. Which is wild. So the problem with cancel for me is not in particular with this. I could do it here. The problem is that I'm going to have to do the same thing in phase 2 of my rigid crate movement, which is like if I have two objects that are like this. You see there's like two different motions happen when I rotate in this way. One gets slid downwards, one gets slid to the right. So phase 2 movement is the sliding to the right in that case. Now the problem would be if I was using cancel to decide not to move something, then my first movement wouldn't happen, which I don't want. All I want to happen is for this rule group to be skipped. And for it to replay and still do the first rule group and skip the second rule group. So while I could use cancel in the first rigid crate, I kind of want a pattern that I can use in the second one. Which might just be a case of I'm definitely getting too tired to think about some of this stuff. Rigid is the weirdest part of puzzle script. I think Stephen Lavelle regrets adding it, although I'm happy it's there. I'm using it. And you can achieve rigid body stuff without using rigid. How would the trunk end off if it couldn't move the second object? I would count that as like effectively. Ooh, I just typed a Z. I guess what's happening there is that you're half doing the rotation in theory. So you're going 45 degrees and then bouncing back, which would lay the trunk and then wind the trunk back up. So effectively, the trunk wouldn't get extended in that case. Because that's similar to like if I extend out and then walk forwards, it undoes the trunk. So in this situation where, let's actually set it up where these two are against the wall again. In this situation, even though you can't really see it, and I'll try and add animations at some point, the yellow is effectively going 45 degrees in and then bouncing back. So it's like it would be laying the trunk and then winding it back up. I just basically won't do anything. It's so weird. It's such a strange movement. But I mean, I've just copied it from Steven Sausage Roll. But does Steven Sausage Roll have infinitely extending trunks? I don't think so. You're not going to be able to cross over like that. That's not going to be allowed. When I say copied from Steven Sausage Roll, I don't mean I copied the movement mechanic, not any of how it's implemented. Because I don't know if I wonder if Steven Sausage Roll was prototypes in puzzle scripts. I don't think I've seen that if it exists. I know that other people have ported it, but I don't think if it was. I don't know if originally it was prototypes in puzzle scripts. I would suspect not, just because of how horrible it is to implement this movement. But I guess I've done it in a few hours, so it's not bad. Okay, so rigid movement. And I want, if a crate is moving into a trunk, it decides, no, this is not good, effectively cancels that rigid crate movement rule group. How on earth am I going to do that? Well, what if it's just not possible to do the movement at the end? Why would that not be okay? That would be the solution. Like I just let it keep going, and then later on it figures out, oh no, there's a trunk in the way, I can't move. And it cancels it, just uses the same behavior. Why doesn't that happen? Because the trunks are on a different layer. That's all it is, right? Wall and crate are on the same layer, so that the collision happens and it cancels. They just add a rule. I'm thinking, like, can I add a rule that just says like, oh, crate is moving into. No, the problem is that I could have a rule that says is the crate moving into a trunk, and then remove the movement from that crate. Problem then is that needs to propagate back out to all the other crates that are trying to move, all the other within the rigid body, all the other bits of that rigid body need to now be told that they can't move. And I tried to do this earlier. I almost abandoned the rigid keyword. I tried to do a thing where I would propagate the movement. Then if anything couldn't move, I'd propagate the like stopping of the movement. But I then decided just to go back to rigid, which is, will I regret it? I don't know. Surely if I just have trunk, but not these trunks, because they need to be here. They need to be on separate layers. But if I could somehow have them on that layer, I guess if they, like trunks could always be two things. They could be the directions, but then also an object representing the solidity of the trunk. Yeah, I think that would do it, and it would just, and then rigid would just work. But the problem is that I need, the way I've done the trunk to make it like directional is that there's 4 different trunk things. There's trunk up, right, down, left, and I composite them into like, so that is a trunk left and a trunk down. They have to be on separate layers. But what I can do is just have another object that always goes with any trunk up, trunk right, trunk down, which is just, yeah, that's exactly what I'll do. Okay, so I might actually copy this into Sublime or something and do some renaming of those into trunk up, direction up, direction, etc. And then have trunk be the actual trunk. Okay, trunk up. I can bring this over. So it's close all this. I save this. That cool. Oh my god! I just found like an old game that I was working on. Let me open a incognito so I don't overwrite. Is this gonna work? This is like ages ago. Well, not ages ago, a few years ago. 3 years ago. I just abandoned the idea really quickly. Why is PuzzleScript not loading? There we go. Called Put Food on Plate. Put food on plate. Oh dear. And there was going to be different levels. I couldn't find interesting ways of making this like fun and interesting. There were going to be levels where you'd have to make a specific kind of food, like a burger. You'd have to make sure the bread was on the bottom and the burger was in the patty was in the middle, and bread on the top. Or I guess you could include cheese and all that kind of stuff. But then you get into arguments about what the order is. Isn't that fun? It doesn't even detect that you've won. Anyway, yes, that can go away. I think somebody else actually ended up being inspired by that. I think it might have been who was it? Somebody made a game inspired by my put food on plate type. Okay, to close all this stuff. Go. No, that's the one. That's the one. Okay. Why do I have so many files open? I guess you can hear that sound every time I close a file. Sorry. Okay. So what I want to do is change trunk up to trunk dir up, and then do a similar thing for right. Probably could do a smarter way of doing this, but whatever. It's not too long. Down. Dir down. Left. Dir left. And then change the group that they're in. Dir. That could change. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, annoying. Can I assume that's always going to have a space after it? In most cases, yes. Except that one. Space or, okay, let's do that. Space. Projects. Trunk with a space or new line. Boom. Oh, I need to make sure that stays. How do we do that? With a group. Trunk dir. Does this work? Not quite. Oh, 0 was the whole thing. Beautiful. Hopefully that caught them all. Seems like it did. Cool. Okay, now I want a separate trunk object, which is going to be transparent. Which is going to be on the same layer as all this stuff. Probably trunk all should just be trunks and not the... Do I ever actually use trunk all? I don't think I do. Maybe I should get rid of it. Let's just get rid of it. Why have dead code? Okay, now that's on that layer. Now I need to make sure that anytime I draw trunk, I put trunk down. That's not too bad. Where's the extension code? Extension's here. So trunk. Okay, so I draw it here. Dir up, trunk. Okay, so trunk. Dir up. Basically, I should just always see trunk dirs paired with a trunk. 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 Dir. That shadow behind me of myself. Should get a backfill light. So that was the extending. Then I also need to do, where's drawing rotation phase? Drawing first off, so in this case, oh, I need to erase them as well. Right, okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Trunk down. Trunk. I mean, the problem with these situations where you have two things that have to follow each other, it's just a classic like data redundancy problem of like if they ever end out of sync, you've got bugs, and those bugs can be weird and confusing. That's not really a good way of avoiding it. Yeah, like in a better puzzle script, if such a thing exists, you would be able to just have a trunk object with a property of it being a right trunk, or something like that. Like you'd be able to attach data to the object. Alas. So then I also need to remove trunks as well here. It's fine. Then in the drawing second half, it's similar. Trunk, 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 trunk. I hope I can actually make good puzzles in this. It'll be sad if I can't. In my head, I came up with some interesting, but that doesn't always translate to actually being able to. Trunk. Yeah, okay, so that's that. Then we've got the drawing later on, forwards, backwards. To place a trunk. That situation. That situation. There and there. We could do it like in case I'm concerned I might be leaving a trunk behind somewhere, I could do a cleanup thing where I just remove all trunks that don't have a trunk to, or vice versa, I guess. Backwards movements. Right, that one and that one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Do it. Oh no. Rook and face can never overlap. This rook was required to happen. Oh yeah, they need to overlap. Oh no, but face is on that thing. Does it need to be? No. Okay. Oh, but face is obviously a trunk. Face is a trunk. I don't need to put trunk where face is. Should I just add face to the trunk group? Is that gonna ruin everything? That's gonna make everything a mess. Line 300. Face and trunk can't overlap, right? But no, this is the right thing to do. There's just something about the data model that's wrong. Effectively, the thing that's wrong is that the face is the trunk. Face is part of the trunk. Like the big yellow square in front of the elephant, that is part of the trunk. It should be treated in all respects as part of the trunk, except when doing rotations and stuff. The face is a trunk, a kind of trunk. I just need to re-architect stuff so that it's like that, I think. What would that mean for this though? Like here I'm like putting a trunk down, trunk door up. Yeah, right, I don't need to because there's a face. Yes, totally fine. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I should do some backups of this code. Occasionally. Yes, Control Z is We'll back up. Right? Oh, I put that one in the wrong place. Fine. That is a trunk, that's not a trunk. So I don't need to remove the trunk from the face because the face already is a trunk. There. And the same on the other bits as well. Oh, but the second half doesn't have a face, that's fine. Maybe this bit does. I do need to make it so that when I reference trunk somewhere, I need to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. So one of the things I think I yeah, definitely spoke to you about at some point. I was making that super puzzle script thing that kind of let you write your puzzle script code in your usual text editor or IDE or whatever. Then you'd say super puzzle script run, and you'd just be able to just open it up in the browser. You'd be able to play it, and so because it was in your normal text editor, you could also commit it and whatever. There were sort of problems. I ended up not continuing it very far. Hey Marcus, how's your game going? It looked very entertaining the last I saw it. Can't tell what the mechanics are going to be. Also, that elephant has extremely short digestive process. Yes, limited save slots. That's why my new game has like infinite save slots, or until you run out of space. I don't know what the limit is, so whatever. One between a novel but not intuitive mechanic and a more classical, more playable one. Yeah, unintuitive is difficult. I find it interesting the weird line there is between. It's like I'm making a game where your elephant's trunk can like stretch in different directions. You can drag it around, and that's not intuitive in the like you'd expect that to happen sense. But I feel like there's an intuition around once that's established. It's like once the kind of absurdity of the situation is established, how intuitive it is then to just mess around with that absurd situation. It's kind of an interesting thing. That is the more important one. It doesn't matter if like the situation is unintuitive, as long as you can convey that situation quickly. Because if the player can then interact with that weirdness intuitively. I don't know which situation yours is. But novel sounds cool, even if it might be slightly unintuitive. But then so is classic. There's like so much you can do with. I don't know exactly what kind of thing you want to do, but yeah, like Sokoban, very simple Sokoban variations can be really good. I'm going to close my blinds. 1 second. Is what working? Which thing? This is mostly working, if you mean the... Well, wait, do you mean working as in... like job working? Which kind of working? Because the answer is yes to both. Yeah, Trunk is very flexible. You can do what you like with it. I mean, you're not supposed to be able to do that. And now I'm stuck. Trunk blocking the things. Wait, is it working? It shouldn't be working. What was I doing? I'm like halfway through it. Elephant marker draw. In some places I switch to elephant rather than player. Right now, player and elephant are actually the same thing. I don't know if there'll ever be a time when they're not. I don't think it's working. I mean, no, it's not. Look, we've got stuff overlapping. There's definitely still stuff to do. I can't even remember what I was doing though. Let's undo, redo. I was removing the trunk from the faces. That was in the drawing first half. Okay, so drawing second half doesn't have faces. This does have faces with trunks. I don't want those to be overlapping. Okay, so get rid of that. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, get rid of that. Ooh, not face static. Get rid of that. That. Seems to be blocking even, not the crates. I mean, maybe. Hold on. Oh, I just finished the level by mistake. I need to just put that somewhere where I can't actually access it. There we go. I guess I'll find out in a second once I finish this. 3, 4, 6. Face and trunk. Trunk can go away. Trunk can go away. Oh. Go away. Okay. I think I get 2 errors for every line there, don't I? Oh. Trunk and elephant. Don't overlap. That's true, but are they overlapping? Why are they overlapping? Oh, yeah, there. Oh, why would that happen? Oh. Oh, that's the backwards movement. Yeah, because I'm trying to draw. So this is the situation where, can I still go into the game? Yes. Where I've extended, okay, that broke everything. And I'm walking backwards, I want it to draw underneath me. That means laying trunk in the place where the elephant currently is. I don't want to move the elephant into a different collision layer. Maybe I just do it in a late rule. I always feel like I'm cheating when I use a late rule. For some reason. I mean, sometimes it's necessary. I've done that and I want to walk backwards. Yes, to place a thing there. I guess I can think of the elephant as also being part of the trunk. I don't think that's the actual taxonomy. The elephant is part of the trunk. I'm redefining the elephants into just the trunk. Oh dear. Somebody rename the Wikipedia page to trunk. The trunk is an animal found in Africa and India. It has a very large appendage called the elephant. I don't know why I find that so funny. Oh gosh. Oh dear. What was I doing? Okay. So, the problem is that the elephant needs to lay trunk below it. It can't because it's in that space and they're on the same layer and they need to be on the same layer. But what if I place the trunk afterwards? I mean, that is totally a valid thing I could do. I could, in fact, that could have been the solution to this whole thing. Is like I just have a late rule where I just place trunk wherever all the trunk doors are. Yeah, yeah. Place a marker, then replace it. Yeah, yeah. What if I had just like gone? Not if I'd not placed any of these trunks the whole time, and I just did it in the late rules, place all the trunks. Could that be problematic? Because then a rule might care about whether the trunk exists and it's not there. That could be problematic. Wait, so if it's after movement, then it's... No, I don't need to place a trunk. No, because the face is there. The face is a trunk. The face is a trunk. So no, I shouldn't be placing a trunk. That is all it is, right? I shouldn't be placing a trunk where the elephant is, because the face is moving into that space and the face is a trunk. That's okay, that's all it is. It needs to just not place a trunk there. Now I shouldn't get any errors from compiling, except the fact I'm using the rigid keyword. Oh, it's all broken. That's fine. It's usually easy to fix. Okay, so let me just put it in a nice situation where I can test. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Do QP. No, all the way around, PQ. Right, what's going on there? Basically the face is disappearing. I'm losing my face. Face always moving to the space the elephant was in. I'm walking backwards, yes. Which is where this problem is. Yeah, the elephant's losing its face. That's all that's happening here, and then it's not dragging with it because the face is gone. Why am I losing my face? It happens on the first turn there, right? Where's the first one? Here. 242. Extension. Yeah, so the action's happening. There's no mention of face there. Face. Now the face is a trunk, so am I removing a trunk? Is that what's happening? That's probably what's happening. That is totally what's happening, isn't it? When I walk... No, but it's not when I walk backwards. Hold on. 4-6. 241. 251. Any mention of face in here? Nostrils, I can't believe. Nostrils is an object in this game. Oh dear. Oh dear. 242. 6. Face. Nostrils right. Face is still there. Am I overwriting the face with something that's in the same layer? Yes, that's totally what's going on, isn't it? I am placing a marker draw, and then I'm doing the extension, which is down here. The action player face, nostrils right, trunk rotate right. Those are all on different layers, aren't they? Face, nostrils right, trunk rotate right. Face, nostrils. Okay. What time is it? It's almost midnight. Okay. Those are all on different layers. So where is it disappearing? There's no mention of face in it. Well, I guess there is a mention of face. No, because I haven't actually changed trunk to be face, have I yet? Trunk is still just... What is trunk right now? Where is trunk? Where's it coming from? Oh, trunk. Yeah, sorry, trunk's its own thing. Yeah, so trunk definitely isn't face. Trunk rotate right. No, so trunk right now is just an object by itself. It's like its own transparent thing. I might need to rename that again so that I have a so that I can have a. I haven't yet made the group that is trunk parts, which is like the face and the trunk bits, and maybe the nostrils as well. I'm not sure. I don't think nostrils will be necessary, but yeah. What a silly game I'm making. Okay. Face is disappearing. Why? Why? Face nostrils. No, so that is fine. Those are all separate layers. The face shouldn't be disappearing there. 251. Again, face isn't mentioned. Face isn't a trunk right now. None of these should affect it. So maybe it's actually in the next turn. 251 again. No, so from then on, we just have 251 happening over and over again, which is the thing. Why am I losing my face? There must be a layer clash. What is on the same layer as face? Player? Or player's obviously not going there. Wall is not going there. Rate's not going there. So trunk must be going where face is. Those are just two distinct objects. For now, face is just a yellow thing. Trunk is a transparent. Why'd I put that there? That's the worst place to put that. Trunk. Does 251 place the trunk? Yes. It certainly does. Which is the extension. So at the beginning, the nostrils are on. That's okay. Yeah, you've got it. Nostrils are there. Trunk rotate right is there. Here, the trunk rotate is not used at all to represent rotation. It's used to represent the direction we're extending. So this is the animation bit where it extends out like that. It's like, well, where the nostrils are with the trunk rotate right, it's moving right, and there's nothing blocking our way. Oh, I don't need the no static anymore. I've got the no X. X is static and dynamic. They both end with ick. But yes, okay. The nostrils are there, and then placing a trunk, even though the face is a trunk. So what do I do about that? I obviously don't want to place the trunk in that situation, but I do need the nostrils to be here. You could have a separate rule. When there's a face and when there's not a face. I might have to have a separate rule. It is placing trunk over face, indeed. That is specifically that trunk. I'm trying to not treat the first step of this as a special case. Even though I guess in a way it sort of is, because the face is there. But so far, I've managed to treat it like any other part of the extension, because the nostrils are here and they extend. And that's important because here, when you press X, you are extending. Your nostrils are joining onto the wall. So it's important that something happens there. But it's currently overwriting that because it's putting the trunk down, because it's like, well, I'm placing a thing here, so that's going to be trunk. But I want it to not do that because there's the face already. It's like, I want to say, well, there's already a face. Duplicate the rules. I guess. So there's going to be the nostrils no face situation. Nostrils face situation. The nostrils face situation, we don't put the trunk down, we just keep the face. The other one we put a trunk down. Same thing again. No face. Yeah. There will at least need to be an extra rule. Potentially place a marker. Yeah, I was thinking about that. If the face was in the trunk group, I think it would help, because I still have to tell it what kind of trunk to put down. Right now, there's only one kind of trunk. That isn't a group. It's just the object. I still have to tell it to put down either a face or a trunk. I could potentially do it without duplicating all of the rules. I could just have a situation where I put down a... if there's a nostrils with a trunk rotate of any direction, the face, or no face, or I could also do the thing where I put the trunks down on the things afterwards. Yeah, I could put the trunks down after... Why don't I do that? That might work. So just one of these, but I don't put the trunks down on the things. I just have a rule that's like, well, if there's a trunk without a trunk and without a face, add a trunk. Probably no again necessary on the first rule, second rule, the face. Oh, okay, that was with the previous set before I changed it, right? Yes, yeah. That should also do the job, right? Yes, okay, I don't lose my face anymore. Yay. I was going to leave a comment saying, place trunks where we've left trunks. Doesn't that need to match direction too? So trunk dir is the... So trunk is just a single object that represents that there is trunk in the space, regardless of what direction it's going in that space. And just additionally in that space, there's also the trunk dirs. The problem is that the problem that I've had is that I can't put the trunk dirs in the layer with the crates and all the moving objects. Oh, right. I mean, chat is lagged anyway. I can change my settings. I don't know what it does. Hold on. stream latency. I think I'd have to restart the stream to do it, so I won't do it now. But like I can change the latency. I don't know exactly how that ends up working. But I think maybe it ends up making the stream lower quality if I reduce the latency. But I get chat faster. Anyway, okay, so that's cool. What was I doing? I was trying to make it so that creates. Okay, so in theory now, this is not going to work yet. Well, it works. I can't move the thing. I can't swipe it. I can't swipe it. Ooh. Oh. Whoa. What was that? There's some things I can't quite tell if it's... Because that's not a valid move, because I'm crossing my trunk over itself. So that might be happening purely because there's a case that I've assumed will never happen. And so I've just not implemented it. I mean, okay, what I should do is check whether that also happens in situation. Oh, crap. Okay, it's not an invalid move at all. Look, it's left the red sticky tape just like lying there. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Somehow the face is overwriting the crate. Oh no, I didn't have that. Whoa. Uh-oh. What have I done? Wait, this is fine, right? It's only when drawing. Uh-oh, I've broken. For sure, they can now no longer move on to the... Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, if I'm drawing and I do that, okay, I've broken something. It's probably not too difficult to fix. Something I've done wrong, obviously. But at least they don't move onto the thing anymore. That's the main thing. In fact, let me test another thing. If I like... Let's say I do this and I leave... Oh no, not there. I want to do here. I leave only one little bit. And I come up here. Like this. Spin around, do this. Yeah, it gets blocked. Nice. Yeah. Except that's all broken. Yeah, let's fix that then. What's going on? Simplest situation is, let me just set it up. Simplest situation is I'm just next to that thing and I push upwards. No, I do that and then I push upwards. Yeah. Only when drawing. That's the weird thing, it's only when drawing. That tells me it's like an easy fix because the movement is fine. There's movement logic that's fine. It's just that somehow, and the movement logic isn't meant to be different between drawing and not drawing. So something is conflicting and overwriting each other. Oh, I know exactly what it is. I'm placing trunks down in the spaces that I'm swiping between, which is where the crates are, and the crates haven't moved yet. No. I should just place the trunks at the end. I should just place the trunks at the end, shouldn't I? The trunk that I'm placing in a turn is never going to affect what's moving. I can't say that guaranteed. I'm pretty sure that's true. Like maybe that whole thing I just did where I was like, well, why don't I just place like I can have a rule where I just place trunks on every trunk door. Could I just do that at the end and not place trunks through the entire thing until then? I'm going to give it a go and just see if it fixes it. Because if it does, then I've saved myself some trouble with debugging. Actually place the trunk, and then actually place the trunk. Well, I'm not going to do it in the late rules. I am going to do it in the late rules. Yes, let's do it in the late rules. That sounds perfect. Or am I tired and I'm being silly? I think that's fine. Nostrils on different things, that's fine. Is that the only change I have to make? Oh, I'm definitely too tired. I'm losing my train of thought. Place trunks where we've left trunk doors. Well, obviously it's still broken because I haven't restarted it. I haven't. There's something else I need to change, right? What have I done? I've changed that down to that. Oh, I just need to remove all the trunks that I'm placing. Okay. So anywhere we're drawing. So I already removed it from the rotatey bit, didn't I? No, from the back and forward bit. I need to remove it from the rotatey drawing. Yeah, here. Yeah, okay. Cool. 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 Erasing. Yes, do erase. I mean, I could also have a rule at the end that's just like remove. I'll leave it in the erasing for now. Drawing. Drawing. Don't put the trunks down. Down. Okay. Then drawing here, don't. Let's not bother. Let's just do it in the late rules. It's fine. And then they'll be involved in the movement next turn. I think that's good. How broken is it going to be? That's fine. That's fine. That's not. Oh, interesting. I can get caught on my own trunk. That seems fine. Okay, hold on. Let's do some of the weird tests again. Let's do this. Yeah, perfect. Oh, ooh, the unwinding isn't working. Everything I do, I break something else. If I can, it'll be another easy fix. Yeah, mostly fine. So I do not that. I want to do this thing again. I do this, that, this, that. Yeah, that's all good. That's not going to actually be allowed, but well, I'm actually undecided whether I should allow that. Because what I could do is I could draw the trunk in the cell as like curving, and then allow a curve on the opposite corner. Makes for an interesting path. The problem I've got, okay, so let me explain this. So this is a design decision I need to think about. Is my entire premise that I'm going with so far is that what's going to happen is that these are going to be like logs from a tree or something. And the goal is to move them around to like form a path, or to get them out of the way, or to put them into some water so you can walk across the logs. And part of the trick is going to be that you have to like attach your trunk to them, and then when you press X again, it's going to pull thing towards you. So now you have the ability to pull from a distance, and some other tricks that I won't mention right now. Now there is interesting. There are interesting What was that? That was just me doing something bad, wasn't it? Yeah, moving forward. Oh no, moving forward should be fine. Uh-oh. Wait, does that happen in a normal place? Oh, I've broken moving forwards. Anyway, the design thing is like, so the movement could be interesting. Like, the fact that I'm drawing this path is going to be interesting. And the way I'm going to make the pulling behave is that, because I don't want to rotate stuff. Like, I guess in real life, if you had like an elephant with an infinitely long trunk, and it could retract it back in, you'd expect this to pull along here, and when it gets to this corner, for the thing to rotate around. I'm not going to do rotations. I spent ages thinking about this like a couple of weeks ago when I was trying to not think about it because I was trying to save it for the jam. What I'm going to make it do is it's going to get to here, and then it's just going to go up. Like the nostril will always be pointing in the same direction. So when it gets here, it will now slide up, so the nostril will be here, and then it'll go that way, and then down, still pointing that way. This will always be facing the same direction, and I think that's fine. That'll be something that's easy to get used to. The question I've got is I want the path drawing to be very relevant to the puzzles. Is it going to be very, very relevant? I guess it gives you a way of like pulling something away from a wall, which you might not be able to. Like, let's say there were a wall along here. This would then pull this way and then lift it up. And that could be relevant in some situations. It generally gets near the bottom, so it'd go, yes, at this point, no, this point would be fine, it'd be there. Oh, it would get jammed because it wouldn't be able to cross over itself. Yes, yeah, it would get jammed then. Exactly. As in the crate wouldn't be able to overlap this bit. So yeah, maybe the thing I'm hoping is that the path drawing is like a significant part of the puzzle solving. I mean, it's going to have to be. Like, I'm going to force it to be. But can it be a significant part while also not being easily broken in other ways? I might have to add other mechanics in or something that makes it better somehow. Maybe this is going to be good enough. I really like, the thing I've really enjoyed is the realization of how restrictive the movement actually ends up being. Because I was thinking, oh, I'd just be able to like draw paths all over the place, but the reality is that, you know, once you've turned once, you can't turn again. Well, you can, but you're stuck in position. Like, I cannot go forward, backwards at this point. I can rotate one more time. I'm totally trapped. You can basically rotate once and then move, and get to a space where you can rotate again and then move. I kind of like that it's ended up like that. It ends up forming these interesting patterns. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop soon, but I'm gonna first fix. What were the problems? I had two issues, didn't I? Didn't I have an issue with like? Maybe it was just the walking forward issue. Is it just that's the walking forward issue, which I have over here. Is there a second issue? Breaking in some situations. Do you remember what the situation was? Breaking. Oh, it was when unwinding. I've broken unwinding. Yeah, okay. Which might be the same problem actually, because that is also unwinding. Walking forwards when the trunk is out is also unwinding. Yeah. Retracting, unwinding. I think that's the same problem. Possibly. Okay, so what is the problem? Walking forwards causes those rules to apply. So I can see something that's happening there, which is that the player is staying in position. The the marker on top of the player that says that I'm currently extended, which is the light blue square, is moving forwards. I think, is that the way around it is? Yes, we get lighter when we're extended. That's moving forwards. Which it should be, and so should the player though. Why is the player not moving forwards? 237 applied. Yep, player's moving with a face in front of it, then player and the face should move. 337. Add a moving marker to player if the player is actually going to move. Okay. So we're moving, and in front of us, there's a moving dynamic. Ooh, have I screwed up this somehow? His head is trunk. Yes. Although head isn't drunk yet. I haven't made that change yet, which is maybe the problem. 337. Need to remove trunk so the head can move there. Oh, I see what you mean. I'm placing it there. I'm not placing. Okay, so right now I'm only placing trunk. Oh no, oh. Oh. So I'm placing trunk. Anyway, there's a trunk door and no face. Okay, so there's no trunk there right now. So then I don't see why it would stop the player from moving. Let's just step through, I guess. 237, 337. Player moving dynamic. What's the moving dynamic in this situation? What's the dynamic? A face. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so there's a face. Player with a moving face in front of it. The player becomes ends up having a marker moving on top of it to show that it's moving, and nothing changes about the dynamic. That's fine. Yes, the player should be moving. Cool. 343. Elephant marker draw. Draw before the face stops the face from moving, then the player body can't move forward either. Could be right about that. You could be very right about that. Right, the face can't move because of the trunk in front of it. Good point. That is totally going to be it. Okay, but I'm going to follow through the rules just in case. So 343 drawing. But this should be yeah, forward movement. That's fine. Right, elephant marker draw. Yep. The face in front of it, trunk to the right, and then trunk to the left. I'm just going to have to remove the trunk here, aren't I? So that I can move. That's all it's going to be. Then this happens. Where does the actual stopping happen? Oh, the stopping happens because they're on the same layer. Yeah, okay, yep. It's just this bit. I need to remove the. You are very correct. Trunk. So the trunk there needs to get removed. That's probably only going to fix forward motion. Okay. Forward motion fixed. Rotation not fixed. Yeah, forward motion is good. This is so exciting. I need to stop that from being allowed. Right, that's the bit I'm getting to. I might do that in the morning though. What's my time now? Probably 8 hours. 8 hours just past 40 hours to go. It's actually so much time. Okay. I was hoping to have the mechanics done in 8, but I guess maybe I'll aim for 12. Quarter of the time to the mechanics. Actually, that sounds pretty reasonable. I end up with like half the time to do the like levels and graphics and sound and stuff, I think that would be enough, to be honest. Just a whole work week left, indeed. So okay, so let me just fix. Whoa! I hate the level, the built-in level editor. It's like my whoa. Oh, right, because that's the way the level editor works. I was starting a restart. It's like, why is it left it like this? It's because when you go to the level editor, it then remembers. I don't know how it works. It's weird. That's why I avoid it. Oh gosh, I've dropped another thing. So this is not unwinding properly on the way back. Is it the second half that's not unwinding? Yes, it's the second half not unwinding. So, erasing second half. What is the problem? Trunk draw up, trunk. Yeah, that'll exist. Trunk draw up, trunk draw up, trunk draw down. Yes, this is exactly the situation. Get rid of it. Why does it not happen? Okay, let me check the rules. So 320 doesn't happen. 308 is the previous one. Erasing first half. Is it this that passes along? Yeah, this is the thing that passes along the trunk to trunk been removed already. Maybe. You might be right. So trunk to the left. It's removed there. When I get to 320, it's not there anymore. I don't think I care about it being there, to be honest. I think this is fine. In fact, I'm operating on the assumption that all trunk to rights already have a trunk on them. So why do I specify it in a matching rule? I'm definitely at the point where I'm saying these things and not totally knowing whether what I'm saying is valid, but that appears to have worked. Okay, as long as I don't do invalid movements. Okay, and then go up near a thing. No, don't do that. So are you saying that it would be quite fun if you could do the curves next to each other? Ship it. I mean, it's quite a fun toy. Like, this is quite fun to play around with. I can't. So this is another. I love that in playing around with this, I'm realizing the constraints. Like, I would never have thought about this at the time, but I now can't turn downwards. I mean, I can turn downwards, but I can never go that way. If I'm ever drawing a line against the wall, I can't go down. That's like something to use in a puzzle. There should be a puzzle around, like, oh, the obvious thing is to like draw a line along the wall, but actually then you're stuck. Yeah, the curves next to each other, I think it's quite satisfying to see. Okay, so if I want to go like, okay, and I can't push that down, great. However, I would sort of like to get you out of the way. Let's just get you out of the way early. Let's double check all my rigid movement is still working. Yeah, that seems good. Nope. Perfect. Perfect. There's almost something like you could make an entire game just out of drawing these paths, which I guess is what this should be. It's just this. I mean, I could change my plan about what the goal is. I haven't yet implemented. Why can't you push with your butt? I think you can. Was there a point where I tried? So like I can do that. Yeah, that works. It might have just looked like I was trying to, but I was actually doing something else. Oh, it's when I went like this. And I can do that. Is what I was doing was pushing left. Which doesn't work. Right does work. Down doesn't work. Right, yeah. I guess there's no indication of what I'm actually pressing. I think I'm gonna call it there. It's 12:30. Time for bed. And I'm gonna try and do like pretty much all day tomorrow. I think tomorrow is probably the best day I've got for getting the most time out of it. So, anyway, that was a good first day. It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. So, okay, I'm going to leave myself some notes saying, leave it at the bottom. So there's like moving into invalid positions while drawing. Is there anything else? What I mean, there definitely are other stuff. There's obviously the next part of the mechanics, which is retracting. Oh, I need to be clear about what's retracting and what's not. Because there's going to be a thing where you like, if you press X now, it retracts it back to you, which is different to like winding up by moving. Okay. I guess retracting is the retracting. Retracting trunk back into elephants. What was the last? Was there another thing that was like left over from today that was like, I need to sort that? I guess there's just these invalid movements that I can do. Because it allows me to like, wee, look at that. Attach the wall and pull. Well, that would be spoilers. But the actual truth, the actual answer to that is that you won't be able to attach to walls. If you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the walls trees, like leafy trees, so it kind of makes sense that if you try and grab onto a wall, you can't really attach to it. But I guess just to imagine a situation, which I can't cause, but if I did this, I guess minor splice. So this will be early, very early. Get out of the way. And I need these to get out of the way as well. Oh, everything's in the way. You just go. Why don't I just remove you? Do I care about you anymore? No. Okay. You go up here. Yes. But, oh, there's a much easier way of me sorting this out. Yeah, like, what will that do? Or even, what will this do? It's going to be fun. Okay, that's it. Okay, good night. See you tomorrow, probably. Oh, and thanks for the help. It was very useful. All right, cool. See ya. Thanks for watching and joining in and everything.